2 years ago, my sanctuary burned to the ground. But what happens when you give an ambitious maker a clean slate? He builds an even bigger and better shop. I'm Izzo Greymane, and in this video, I'm going to take you on a tour of the new shop, which I like to call the Skyforge. But before I show you the new shop, let's circle back and look over the aftermath of the fire. The old shop wasn't perfect by any means. 45 years old, uneven floors, and framing starting to rot, but it was mine, my sanctuary, and in just 15 minutes, it was gone. 2 years ago, on a winter morning, I woke up to my dog barking more than usual. Half asleep, I looked out the back window, and that's when I saw it. Smoke was billowing out of my shop. I bolted outside, still in my underwear, with a single thought in my mind: save what I could. But as soon as I opened that barn door, the smoke was overwhelming and the heat was unbearable. I grabbed the hose thinking I could slow it down, but by the time I ran back inside to tell my wife to call 911 and returned, it was too late. Flames engulfed the shop within minutes. The fire was so intense, it sent flames 50 feet into the air. When the firefighters arrived, the building was already gone, reduced to a concrete slab. It was devastating. I lost tools handed down to me by my grandpa, pieces of history that I'd cherished. I lost countless projects that represented milestones in my journey as a craftsman. It was where I built my brand, honed my style, and discovered my identity as a maker. It was where I pushed through challenges, celebrated triumphs, and turned raw materials into creations I was proud of. Losing it felt like losing a part of myself, a place where so many of my dreams were forged. Rebuilding wasn't just about replacing what I'd lost. It was about creating something better. After the fire, I took a lesson from the big bad wolf and the three little pigs. This time, I built a fortress that no amount of huffing and puffing could bring down. I personally managed the entire process, from permitting to contracting all the work. It began with my cousin and me handling the earthworks, cutting over 100 yards of soil to create a level foundation for the shop. Next, I brought in a concrete crew to pour a solid mono-slab foundation. Once that was in place, the steel building crew erected the entire structure in just 4 days. Afterward, I hired a spray foam insulation and gutter contractors to finish off the space, ensuring it was functional and met the permitting requirements. This is the new shop, a 30 by 50 foot space with 14-foot walls, built to handle anything I throw at it. As you step inside, you'll notice some duplicate tools scattered throughout the shop. That's because my buddy Rybo works here Monday through Friday, and he's set up his own blacksmithing tools. The area in front of the garage door is intentionally left open, a flexible staging zone where I can work on large projects, set up my wood saws, or bring in a car or tractor and do some automotive work. On the opposite side, we feng shuied the blacksmithing tools for optimal workflow, keeping the forge, anvils, and stations in harmony. At the back of the shop, you'll see the mezzanine, a 30 by 15 foot addition, including the stairs, with two 12.5 by 15 foot rooms underneath. One of those rooms is a grind room, a dedicated space for knife making, blacksmithing, and all the messy work I love. Let's dive into some of the features and work I've done on the inside. One element that was really important to me while designing the shop, and something that I spent a lot of time and consideration on, was the lighting. I wanted to make sure that everything within the shop was going to be well lit and that the colors would be represented accurately. You know, when you go to do something like record a video, take photos, I wanted to make sure that I was going to be happy with the results. So I went out and bought 5 high CRI strip lights that I installed here at the center of the ribs on their own circuit. CRI means color representation index, and then being a high value of that means that they accurately represent colors. I also wanted another circuit of lights that would be high CRI and adjustable, both in how warm and cold they can get, as well as how bright they can be. I looked at a bunch of different options, couldn't really come up with something that I was really happy with, so I ended up buying a bunch of components online, custom 3D printing some things, and building my own lights, which I made 8 of, and you can see that they run along the outside of the ribs on both sides. So now I have 13 lights, 8 of which are fully adjustable, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. In my opinion, one of the most notable features about my shop has got to be the mezzanine, loft, whatever you want to call it. I've pretty much spent every day the last 6 to 7 months trying to get this project done. There were two main reasons that pushed me to do it, and the first one is I wanted to get this grind room in here. The grind room is a place where we keep all the nasty tools like the belt sander, the grinder, the drill press, and things that create a bunch of fine metal dust. I know from using my old shop that dust would contaminate everything, and you really don't want it getting into things like your camera, your power tools, your welder, heat treating oven, and so on. The other reason, and honestly almost as important to me, is having more storage space. Like, who doesn't want more storage space, right? It allows me to just throw things up there so I can keep the forge floor really clear and have an efficient and comfortable workflow. Now that you've had an overview of the shop and understand the layout and the features that I've added, let's go check out all the tools. My favorite! Every forge needs, well, a forge, right? So what we have here are 2 propane forges. This one's a little bit smaller. It has 2 burners. And this is good for when you're forging smaller items and when you're trying to conserve fuel. And then we have the larger one over there, which is 3 burners. And that's great for when you have kind of like an odd-shaped object or a much longer object. Another tool that you're likely to find within a blacksmith shop or a forge is an anvil. We have 2 petting house anvils here, which is a German pattern double horn anvil. This one is 125 kilos, which is 275 pounds. And that one there is 75 kilos, which is 165 pounds. Behind me here are what are known as hydraulic forge presses. And they essentially just squish down really hot steel using interchangeable dies that you can put into the machine here. The black one is a 24-ton press that's pretty new, so I don't have a lot of dies for that yet. But the gray one is a high-speed 16-ton press that actually salvaged from the fire and rebuilt last summer. These are wonderful tools for when you go to make stuff like Damascus or forge down heavy pieces of steel into hammerheads, axe heads, drifts, and other blacksmithing tools. Another tool that you'll commonly find in a blacksmith shop is a post leg vise. It's kind of like a benchtop vise, but one jaw actually has a leg that goes all the way down to the concrete, making it super sturdy. And you can actually do tasks like forging, twisting, and other heavy-duty things. The fact that it's bolted into the concrete makes it really sturdy and a great tool to have in the shop. This funky orange tank-looking thing is a new tool that I'm super excited to use. It's a vertical heat treating oven, which allows you to heat treat longer things like swords, all in a vertical manner, which will hopefully alleviate issues that arise when you do that horizontally because the blade tends to warp, twist, or create other issues when it's really hot. The black things next to it are quench tanks that will be filled with oil. So when we go to harden a blade, we'll take the hot steel and quench it within those tanks. This table with a bunch of holes in it is what's known as a fixture table, and it's a table that you affix different pieces of steel to using attachments and clamps, and then use a welder to weld those pieces of steel together. That's a multi-process welder that can do MIG welding, TIG welding, as well as stick welding. You'll see a lot of that in future videos. I'm currently keeping all of my essential blacksmithing tools such as tongs, hammers, and like wire brushes, all on this wheeled cart here, which makes it easy to move about the shop and get access to when I need it. And then behind me here, you'll see that Rybo and I bought these workbenches that have a lot of storage for our hand tools like screwdrivers, wrenches, sockets, files, sandpaper, welding accessories, and all that fun stuff. But I also have this drawer here that has a bunch of rusty old tools that were in the old shop when the fire happened that will need to be restored in the future. These two contraptions are the backbone of any bladesmith shop. They're 2x72-inch belt sanders, and the way they work is this belt is driven across a surface, creating an area that you can then grind steel, other metals, plastic, or wood against. One of the key features of these machines is the ability to change or alter the shape and size of the grind area using different attachments. Attachments come in a wide variety, such as wheels that range from 2 inches all the way up to 14 inches in the soft variety, and then below 2 inches you have hard wheels, which are used to grind grooves or fullers into blades. But there's also attachments like the flat platen, rotary platen, or surface grinder attachment. But the thing that makes these machines even more versatile is the fact that you can put a wide variety of different types of belts on it. Sandpaper belts have a wide range of grits, all the way from 24 grit, which is like an asphalt roughness, up past 1,000 grit, which is a polishing finish. But then you have Scotch-Brite, cork, or leather belts, which are used to accomplish different types of finishes. Having the ability to change or alter the shape and size of the grind area, as well as use a wide variety of belts, makes these machines probably one of the most versatile tools in the shop. And in my opinion, they almost become a requirement when you get serious about bladesmithing. While the grind room does a really good job of keeping things from contaminating the rest of the shop, while you're in here working, there's a lot of airborne particulates that become present within the room. And those airborne particulates are really not good to breathe in and can cause some serious health issues. Therefore, Ribo and I recently installed this dust collection system, which acts as a big vacuum cleaner underneath the grind area. Hopefully that will reduce the amount of airborne particulates in the room and make it a much healthier space to work in. Here's an 8-inch bench grinder with a wire wheel and a stone wheel on it, which is great for removing rust, forge scale, or mill scale. And over there is a drill press, which is obviously for drilling holes into things. Now that you've seen the shop and all the tools within it, I'd like to take a moment to share a little bit about what drives me as a creator. I take a lot of inspiration from the philosophy of Stoicism, especially the belief that each one of us has an inner purpose or genius that connects us to the universal nature. According to classic Stoics, true happiness comes from aligning your individual nature with the universal one. For me personally, that alignment happens through creation. The Stoics believe that virtue, our human excellence, is the only path to a meaningful life. Virtue isn't just a set of rules. It's a way of life that combines temperance, courage, justice, and practical wisdom. And for me, the greatest expression of virtue is creation. No other species on Earth has the ability to conceptualize something and bring it into existence. When I create, whether I'm forging metal, shaping wood, or designing something entirely new, I'm living in harmony with my purpose. Creation isn't just a process, it's a practice in living virtuously. This belief fuels my near obsession with learning how to create in just about any material and process that I can. I'm what you might call an autodidact polymath, which is a fancy way of saying a self-taught jack of all trades. I've taught myself to blacksmith, weld, woodwork, leatherwork, sew, program, design CAD models, produce videos, write books, and so much more. My goal isn't to master one skill, it's to combine them all to create something truly unique and functional. Think of me as like a Ron Swanson type, but nerdier, millennial, and I have a deep love for innovation. I don't make things to save money, although that is a big bonus a lot of the time. I make things because I believe that the process of creation itself leads to something better. Better than what you can find off the shelf, and better for the soul. My approach to this channel reflects the way I approach life, with an open mind and a love for creativity. I won't be focusing on a single niche. My niche is the process, the way I combine skills, tools, and materials to create something that is unique, functional, and hopefully inspiring. So you might find a sword making video one week and then a mini painting or 3D printing video the next. That variety is what fuels me, and it's that kind of energy that I want to share with this community. You'll see me not just experimenting with projects, but with also the videos themselves. I want to try out new transitions, effects, and styles, so please leave a comment and let me know if any of them caught your eye, whether you hate them, love them. I'll take anything. And speaking of variety, this shop will be the subject of a lot of future content. From installing railings on the mezzanine and stairwell, to finishing the second room, or fine-tuning the workstations to make them the most efficient and productive that they can be. There's really no shortage of projects to tackle here. The shop is my new sanctuary, and I'm really excited to take you along with me on the journey of upgrading and making it top tier over the next year or so. So if you're ready for a mix of skills, tools, and creativity, join the party. This channel is all about making, and not just things, but progress, innovations, and memories. When the fire took everything, it gave something back. A blank slate to dream bigger, construct with purpose, and innovate freely. The new shop is more than a space for tools. It's a defiant declaration that the fire of creation can never be extinguished. Whether you know me as Inslow Greymane, the Wily Wizard, or Night Owl Forge, you can always count on me to rebuild when all is lost. Until next time, never give up, keep rebuilding, and stay inspired.